Hello everyone, and welcome back to another grammar lesson video on the channel of the English Language and Literature Association of Hakim Sabzevari University. I'm Zahra Heydari, and I'm absolutely delighted to be with you today. I sincerely hope this video proves to be both beneficial and enjoyable for you. Today we want to learn sentence types and structures. It's an important grammar, and I want you to listen carefully. So first we want to see 4 sentence types and then 4 sentence structures. Okay, let's begin. In English, there are 4 main types of sentences. Okay, they are imperative, interrogative, declarative, and exclamatory. Okay, let's dive into each one and understand what they are and how we use them. So the first one is the imperative. About the imperative, well, it's as a grammatical mood specially designed to express directives. Its primary goal is to influence the actions of the person being spoken to. Common uses of the imperative are we use imperative for commands. Okay, for example, stop, it's a command. For instructions, for example, mix the ingredients, it's a instruction. For requests, for example, please help me. For warnings, for example, watch out. For advice, take a break. Yes. For invitations, come in. For encouragement, for example, keep going. And for suggestions, for example, try this. These are all imperative. Yes. So these are common use of imperative. And we want to highlight that the grammatical structure of a sentence doesn't always dictate its social function. Okay, look at the example, open the door. It's grammatically imperative, yes, and its function is imperative directive. But the next sentence, could you open the door? It's grammatically interrogative, and its function is polite request directive. Okay. The next sentence, you must open the door. It's grammatically declarative, and its function is strong directive. So this demonstrates how different grammatical forms can achieve the same goal of directing someone's action. So keep in mind that not every directive is imperative form. As shown, declarations or questions can also function as directives. And also, not every imperative has the same pragmatic force. The same imperative sentence can range from a soft suggestion to a harsh command depending on the context, tone, and relationship between speakers. Now, here you can see the most basic structure of imperative sentences. The standard or canonical form uses the base form of the verb. No to is used before the verb. Okay, we don't say to swim, to sit down, to open your book. Okay, we say sit down, open your book, listen carefully, be careful. Yes. And we can have the omission of subject. In most imperatives, the subject is omitted. This is because the subject is implicitly understood to be the second person. The person being addressed, you, yes? For example, when we say open the window is understood as you open the window. So this omission makes the sentence direct and efficient. You can also overt you for emphasis. Okay, while usually omitted, the subject you can be explicitly included for specific effects. For emphatic, to strongly stress the subject. For contrastive, to distinguish between different people. For impatient or angry feelings, yes, to convey a heightened emotional state. For example, you be quiet. It's emphasizing who should be quiet. You stay here. It's a stronger, more insist command, yes. And you listen to me. It's demanding full attention. Now, to create a negative imperative, telling someone not to do something, you use don't or do not followed by the base verb. It's easy, right? For example, don't touch that wire. Don't be late. An important point here is that for the verb be, the standard negative is don't be. Yes? For example, don't be careless, rather than older or non-standard forms like be not careless. Okay? Don't use this. Use don't be careless. And emphatic imperatives, to add emphasis to a positive imperative, telling someone to do something with extra force, you use do followed by the base verb. This is different from the negative form. For example, do sit down. This adds a layer of insistence or encouragement. Do try again. It's a strong prompt to make another attempt. Yes. And we have extended patterns. These shows ways to form directives that go beyond the simple base verb structure. Okay, let's plus verb. It's used for suggestions that include the speaker, like let us. Yes, for example, let's begin, let's go, let's do. Yes. The next pattern is let plus object plus verb. It's used for commands or permissions involving a third party. For example, let him speak. It means that allow him to speak. We have vocatives. It means naming the person being addressed, either at the beginning or end. For example, John, open the window. And we have tags for adding a short question tag to an imperative to soften it or seek agreement. For example, open the door, will you? Or let's go, shall we? And common in manuals or signs. Simple, direct imperatives, both positive and negative, are frequently used in instructional materials and signs for clarity and brevity. For example, do not enter, push, pull. Okay, that's it about imperative. Now, the most fundamental structure of a declarative sentence is subject plus verb. This is the standard word order. Okay, the subject is who or what the sentence is about, and the verb describes the action or state of being. For example, the students understood the topic. She is writing her paper. They have completed the task. So an important point here is that declaratives are typically tensed. This means they show when the action happened or the state exists. Past, present, future, yes. They can also express aspects, for example, progressive, perfect. They can express modality, for example, possibility or necessity, and also polarity, positive or negative, okay? For example, the lecture starts at 9. This is a clear statement of fact. Yes, you must submit the assignments today. While grammatically a declarative, subject you and verb must submit. Yes, its function is a directive or a command. It tells someone what to do. The next example, you will stay here until I return. This sounds like a prediction, but in context, it's often a strong command. And the last example, I can help you with that. This declarative functions as an offer, okay? Now, declaratives can be positive or negative, like imperative, yes? Negation typically uses not. For many verbs, we also need the auxiliary verb do or does or did to carry the negation. Okay, for example, she is ready. It's a positive declarative sentence. But she is not ready. It's a negative declarative sentence. Or they work hard. It is positive. We turn it to they don't work hard. It's negative declarative sentence. Yes. Now marked declarative patterns. Sometimes we change the usual subject verb order for emphasis. This is called marked declarative patterns. We use it for fronting, I mean moving a part of the sentence to the beginning for focus. For example, this book I really enjoyed. Here the focus is on this book. Yes. For cleft constructions, I mean using specific structures like it was or what I need is to highlight a particular element. For example, it was John who broke the window. Here focus on John as the one who broke the window. Yes. Or another example, what I need is a short break. Here the focus is on a short break. Yes. And we use the what I need phrase. And for existential, they're used to introduce the existence of something. Okay, for example, there is a problem with the results. Introduces the problem. Yes, there is a problem with the results. Okay, so declaratives in reported and academic discourse. Declaratives are very common in more formal writing, like academic text, and in reported speech. For example, she said that she was tired. Reported speech, the clause in bold is a declarative. I mean that she was tired. Okay, this is a declarative. Or the researchers concluded that the results were significant. This is declarative and it's an academic discourse. Yes. Now, tag questions. We saw tag questions when discussing imperative, but they are often attached to declaratives too. They are short questions added to the end of a statement, usually to seek confirmation or encourage interaction. For example, you know the answer, don't you? She arrived early, didn't she? And pragmatic force. Finally, just like imperatives, the pragmatic force of a declarative depends heavily on context and intonation. For example, it's raining can be a simple statement. Yes, it's raining. With an urgent tone could be a warning. It's raining. Yes, you will clean your room. As noted before, it's a command. I can help you with that. It's an offer. You're late. It can be a neutral statement or a threat depending on tone and situation. And another example, oh, you finished the project? Great. What is an interrogative? An interrogative sentence is primarily defined as a type of sentence used to ask questions. and its purpose, its main role in communication, discourse purpose is to seek information or confirmation. It's designed to elicit a response from the addressee, which could be an answer, a confirmation of something, or even prompt an action. Now, main interrogative types. This section categorizes the most common types of questions found in English. Yes-no interrogatives, yes, or polar questions. These questions can typically be answered with a simple yes or no. They are formed by inverting the subject and auxiliary verb. For example, are you ready? Did they leave? And the next one is WH interrogatives, yes, or content questions. These questions begin with a WH word, yes, like what, where, when, why, who, how, and are used to ask for specific pieces of information. For example, what did she say? Where are you going? Yes, and we have alternative questions. These questions present two or more options, usually connected by the conjunction or, asking the addressee to choose one. We will discuss about conjunctions, okay? So just remember and keep it in your mind. We use or here. For example, do you want tea or coffee? Do you want tea or coffee? And we have tag questions. Yes, so these are short interrogative phrases added to the end of a declarative statement. They are used to confirm information or to encourage agreement and interaction. For example, you're coming, aren't you? Now look at the core grammar section. This section explains the fundamental grammatical rules for forming interrogative sentences. We have subject auxiliary inversion. This is the primary mechanism for forming yes or no questions and is also used in WH questions after the WH word. Okay, the auxiliary verb or operator is placed before the subject. For example, declarative sentence, she is living. Interrogative sentence, is she living? Okay, is she living? In declarative sentence, we have they have arrived. But in interrogative sentence, we say have they arrived? Okay, do support when no auxiliary. If a declarative sentence uses simple present or simple past verb without an auxiliary verb, the auxiliary verb do or does for third person singular present or did for past tense is introduced to form the question. The main verb then returns to its base form. Okay. For example, in declarative we say you like it, but in interrogative we say do you like it? In declarative we say he went home, but in interrogative we say did he go home? Yes. Note that went becomes go. Okay. Now, the typical structure is auxiliary verb plus subject plus not plus main verb for negative interrogatives. Okay, for example, don't you agree? Aren't they coming? Is he not ready? Okay, these are all negative. Negative interrogatives often carry a stronger pragmatic force than simple affirmative questions. Okay, negative interrogatives often express surprise, expectation, criticism, or persuasion, not just a request for information. Okay. Now, other important points are WH movement. The WH word usually moves to the front. Okay. For example, what did you buy? Yes. And we have preposition standing. A preposition may stay at the end. Okay, for example, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? More formal, if you want to say, we say, to whom are you talking? Okay, to whom are you talking? For short and elliptical questions, well, in conversation, shorter forms are common. Yes, for example, coming, any question? Yes. For echo questions, these repeat part of someone's word to show surprise or ask for clarification. Okay, for example, she met who? You did what? Yes, you did what? And for embedded questions, when a question is inside a larger sentence, there is no inversion. Okay, no inversion. For example, I wonder where she is. Or can you tell me what he said? Or I don't know if they arrived. Okay, and for intonation and meaning, well, the meaning of a question also depends on intonation. Okay, for rising intonation, we have real question, and for falling intonation, we have checking, softening, or rhetorical effect. Okay.